Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Carside Chat. I am your host, Primo. And as always, we talk about it's winter here. Things are coming into our area and things are getting bad. People are starting to pack up their vehicles. And one thing that we talk about all the time is how you should take care of your vehicle. Now, a lot of times, especially with normal repairs, it's something that you want to think about in the wintertime. So you say, hey, take it out to the shop and do stuff instead of just wrapping it up. And one thing that is pretty much universal that we want to do most of the year, or being able to keep up with your vehicle in general, is just being able to do the cleaning and all that stuff on the side. So we wanted to get somebody. We've talked a lot about this North Shore stuff. We wanted to get somebody that was from the North to talk about something. So we wanted to get somebody that was an expert, and we got somebody right now. So we're going to talk to him. They're from Tucker Mathieson from ReVIVE. How's it going, Tucker?
Good, man. How you doing today?
I am doing excellent. So what I wanted to have you on today is because I am under the impression that you are you're expert at detailing and an expert at paint correction, right?
One could say that, yeah.
Awesome. How long have you guys been around?
So we're in our 5th year of business here at ReVIVE.
Nice. Okay. Now, what is there anything that you see up there from your area that you kind of see that's not regular? In other words, like, do you see stuff like sand and salt being so north? I mean, you guys are in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, right?
Yep. Yeah, we're in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, like 5 minutes from the ocean.
Wow.
So
Okay.
summertime, there's salt from the water. Wintertime, there's salt from the brine they put down on the roads to make it safer, if you will.
Wow. Do you guys do stuff with like undercarriage and stuff like that?
We don't do undercarriage coating here, but we have a contact that we work with about 30 minutes north of us. They're the biggest in the state.
Yeah.
That does undercoating. So we trade work back and forth with them, make sure that people's cars are taken care of.
So is it really just like a big horror show? In other words, people come in and it's like sandblasted front ends of cars and stuff like that?
Sometimes it's a mess.
Yeah.
We see it all here. We do Camrys to Ferraris. It doesn't matter to us. A car's a car, and if you love it, that's all that matters.
Wow. That's the thing is I see a lot of people that really kind of specialize in like one thing, but you guys have a very extensive range. Is there, so you got to treat the car the same way, whether it's a Camry or whether it's a Ferrari?
Absolutely. I drove some old cheap cars, and I love them just as much as the fancy, exotics that come in here.
Yeah. So let's say I went to something that we brought up before, but I think this should be brought up all the time. Let's say I've just purchased my new vehicle, and a lot of people don't think about, they just kind of drive away and everything. And what would you commonly suggest to somebody? You say, because I tell them, I go to your detail. First thing I do if you buy a new car is go to the guy that's going to make sure that it looks good for years on end instead of waiting for it to fall apart. Especially for like your area, what would you suggest for them to do, when they first get done, or, down the road even?
Yeah, well, before you even if you're buying a new car, ask the dealership not to touch it. A lot of their detail shops are, 20-something-year-old kids with no detailing experience, and they're taking the wrap off that car and they're washing it with a mop and bucket. And then we get it in here, and we regularly see cars that come in and need thousands of dollars worth of paint correction work just to look brand new again with
That's
30
hilarious.
miles on them.
That's hilarious.
So first thing is prevention. Let's make sure the car comes in to our shop looking new. And then we can go down the line of, do we want to just wax it regularly? Do we want to do a ceramic coating on the paint? What's the client's best path for maintaining their vehicle on their budget?
I've worked way too long in the automotive industry, and actually seeing, like you were saying, the mop and the bucket concept of just, I'm gonna, the what is it, the Jersey dusters and stuff like that, where it's just
the California dusters.
California. Yeah. So it's one of those things of like, you come out and you just, I've seen cars that $500,000 cars that somebody just takes out like you said, like a bucket that's been gone through to 7,000 cars before it. And it just went right out to something, and it was like, now I'm gonna, it's this perfect Range Rover, for instance, or something like that, like big cars. And not just in our deal, like we tried to have the best stuff done to our cars. But the thing is I just think that you guys bring a level of expertise that I think, have you ever worked with dealerships before? Is that something you've considered?
Yeah, we've worked with a couple, and actually that's a big push for us this year, is trying to knock on doors and educate the dealerships on, hey, you're selling someone the second biggest investment of their lifetime usually.
Yeah.
Let's get it to their doorstep looking awesome. Let's maintain that before they've even taken delivery of it.
Yeah. I you know what? I think you might have opened something that we've actually never touched before on this show. is those relationships with the experts. The idea that I think a lot of people, we kind of underestimate paint in general. And I think that's something that it's basically like a failing. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure you can tell me more about it than even I'm even addressing.
I could talk your ear off all day about it.
Yeah. So the thing is one thing that I've tried to insist to people too, and especially with this kind of thing, is kind of the ceramic coatings and that kind of thing. Is that something that you would recommend doing on the car either at the gate or 7-8 years down the road?
Yeah, we do it on all sorts of cars. Brand new is best. You got to make sure it fits your budget. It's not an inexpensive service, but it's the best way to maintain your vehicle long term, in our opinion. So it's basically just a layer of a glass-like layer that goes over the paint of your vehicle. It makes it less prone to scratching, makes it hydrophobic. Washing it is such a breeze with ceramic coating on there, and it just makes the car get that extra pop, that shine that you want to see.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you see a lot of the exotic guys up in your area have already wrapped their cars up for the year?
Yeah, this time of year they're pretty much done. We're seeing lots of trucks coming in, but there's still new trucks being sold, today at dealerships that are six figures. So we're seeing the TRX, the Raptor, these real built up trucks that are coming in, and they're worth more than some folks' houses. So still just as worth investing in protecting it.
I have seen a ton of guys pick up these TRXs recently. The TRX, the Raptor is always going to be just a predominant part of, they just, I don't know why they're just crazy, like the love for them. And then the thing is in general, just the number one selling vehicle out there right now is a Ford truck. And the thing that you're going to do with a car like that is you're going to beat it up. I don't care who you are. I don't go out and work on do anything like landscaping like I used to do. But that's the thing is even with the work that we do on our truck, we do use it for a work thing. And any kind of road conditions, anytime they do any kind of work on it, tar, stuff like that, all of it just wants to collect. And it just becomes part of this vehicle. That's just, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just a pain in the butt. Is there anything that you see because we're big construction down here. Is there one thing that you kind of see that if, like road constructions or anything like that, did you commonly see vehicles come in when they come from your area?
Lately, we've been seeing a lot of road paint on cars coming in. That's been the biggest. Yeah. As they're repainting the lines on the roads.
Wow.
I've had probably a dozen cars in the last month and a half come in. I don't know if it's just our area. They've been redoing a lot of roads, but we're seeing that on cars a lot lately.
Is it yellow or is it white?
Yeah, the yellow line paint. Wow. Yeah. I had two cars in today that came by for quotes with paint on their cars. And it's a pain to get off.
Yeah. Now, does that how do you get that off? Is it just, you just buff it off, or is it just what's the deal with that?
There's a bunch of different chemicals, usually some sort of solvent. And then if we have to, take the machine abrasives to it with a polish and a compound and knock it down. It's case by case, but I think in the last month we had two that went through insurance because it was baked onto the paint. And the car was not maintained. They brought it to us a month after, and it had fully dried on the paint, and there was nothing you could do except put some elbow grease into it.
Not taking care of their vehicles. What a shocker, right? No, that's one thing. That the worst thing that we ever went through is we were at a dealership one time, and it was hail, and this hail came down, and we just knew it was it wasn't just big. It was one of those things of saying it was going to be these little things what I'm talking about, the little dents.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you,
a little dents.
Yeah. It just took forever, but that's something that I don't think we've ever gone over this before. We have kind of touched on it, but it's something that we haven't gone into details, like the paint correction thing. Now, is that something that's just with chipped paint or just paint in general?
So with paint in general, you can get rock chips and whatnot in your paint, and we do offer touch-up services. But paint correction is fixing the haziness, the scratches, and anything else that might be laying in the clear coat layer of your paint. So nowadays, most automotive paint is 3 layers. You've got your primer, your base coat to give you the color, and a clear coat to protect it. And that clear coat is what we specialize in. It's about as thick as a sheet of paper. Every year, it's getting thinner and thinner on new cars.
Yeah.
But we can level that with compounds and polishes and sanding if we have to pull scratches out and maintain your factory finish. And that's where the coating helps, adding a layer of protection. It builds that up.
Yeah. Well, that's that's the thing that gets me too, is I keep thinking about that. Like the paint gets thinner and thinner. And the more we do that, the more we're going to need you to come out and actually fix all the damage that's been done.
Yeah.
I hope you're up for the crazy task, right?
And we like to think we are. We really invest in our training to make sure that we can best serve the clients that come through our door.
Yeah, I'm looking at those awards that you got. I mean, the things that you got in the back there, man. You guys have got a long list of stuff where you guys have trained to be where you are. Like, how long does it take to get, like, I guess the thing is to your level?
Yes. So each one of those certifications you see behind us, it's about a week-long training course. So we're certified in the ceramic coating line that we use. We're certified for the ceramic coatings along with all of their other products. So interior, exterior kind of maintenance stuff. We are certified by the International Detailers Association, which is a national organization that kind of vets detailers.
Wow.
Brent would be the owner / my father in this family-owned business. Him and I are two of, last we checked, was 15 detailers in the New England area to have the certified detailer level through the IDA.
Wow.
And that's a week-long training course. It's a big time investment, a big money investment. We flew out to California for this. We have to pass a written test, it's about 100 questions, and then you're actually watched by a trainer for the IDA, and they basically give you the final pass that says either you know your stuff, or no, you didn't make the cut.
I love that stuff. Anytime you have something that's some kind of governing body, and that's, I think, something that is really lost when it comes to say the normal world. A lot of people out there, they get really busy with stuff, they do things, they don't really know what to look. So somebody look at me and say, hey, how do I trust this guy? And I get the question all the time, is how do I trust this person that I'm working at? And I said, okay, so are they certified as a repair technician for the vehicle that you're working on? Are they certified to do all this other stuff? And being able to say that you have certification for something when it comes to detailing, I think is just, it's better than to have that, I think, than almost like the 5-star review, because I don't think we can trust reviews anymore so much. It's
They're
a lot of
miss.
Right, exactly. And the thing is like, for you're a good organization, so I can look and say, hey, go to them. But I'll have people call me and say, this other guy's got like a 4 or 5-star review, and he's got a couple of relatives hit it. And how do I say that this guy is what he is? And then, hey, is he IDA certified? And okay, well, no, he's not. All right, well, I know somebody that is, and they're up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, near you, and they're the guys that are going to help you. So now you guys, obviously, to do this stuff, you have to be very passionate about it. What kind of guy is it been just a family business, or is there a kind of family passion to this thing?
There's certainly a family passion. My dad got me into cars and into racing when I was a kid. Got my first car when I was 16. I'm 25 now, 31 cars later. I've owned I've got 4 right now. Cars are a passion in our family.
Nice.
Modifying them, maintaining them. My very first car ever placed 3rd at the Volvo Club of America event one year in Connecticut.
Nice.
With my V70R.
That's a nice one. Yeah.
Black on black. So, the Alcantara interior. I love that car.
I think a lot of people underestimate the Volvo.
It was very underestimated.
Yeah. It's the thing is it's just the design, I want to say I'm going to call it aircraft design. How's that went into the kind of the thinking that they did with their vehicles. And it just, the problem is they see, in America, we advertise cars as, so let's start with that, is Volvo, when they advertise their cars, we're safe, everything is nice, you're going to be whatever. In America, we go, hey, you see that tractor trailer truck? Let's pass it. Like that. We have a different kind of advertising that's going on here. And I think it's a lot. We sell the aggressive. And I think that's why, like we were talking about with trucks and things like that, it really does. So what was your first car?
So that V70R was a 98 V70R was my first car. And then from there it progressed relatively slowly until I was, I think, 18. I had 7 cars in a barn that I rented to put them all in. Wow. And that's when we knew I might have a problem.
Oh, you're not the only one with this problem.
It's a good problem to have.
Do you still have the Volvo?
I do not. It was viciously attacked by a curb one day.
Ah, those darn curbs. They see
Came out of
now.
nowhere.
Let me guess. This is another one of those New Hampshire things that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we have mobile curbs. They'll jump out in front of you.
Yeah. Oh, the trees. The tree. That's what I'm saying. They shut
Don't
down
get me
roads.
started on the trees. They got
Yeah.
me once too.
It's the best one. I had a friend one time that crashed his car twice in ice, and he called back and called the insurance company. He said, "Yeah, that darn ice it got." He said he blamed it all on the ice. Like the ice got me again. I was like, "You're driving a Mustang on summer tires," and I mean, we were all like you were saying, we were all 17, 18 once we we make all the same mistakes. Well, we're gonna cut to a break real quick. We'll be right back, and we're gonna be talking more about detailing, paint correction, and doing all the stupid stuff to your car. We'll be right back.
Silver City Soapworks. Only the best for your skin. Grab yours today. www.soapcitysoapworks.com.
All right, we're back with Tucker, and we're talking about some of the stupid stuff that we've done in cars before. Now, what is it? Did you tell me? You told me something, or we were talking about it before. I didn't get it. You said the Detail Mafia. What was the deal with that?
So the Detail Mafia is a group that we're part of. It's an international organization of automotive detailers, and it's kind of like a really tight-knit group. We've got our own forum that we can hop on, and I have access to other certified detailers across the United States and across the world, really, that I can immediately connect with. I've got an access to list all their phone numbers. If I need to call someone with a question because I don't know how to handle something, I can reach out and I can talk to the best of the best that are out there.
You're not going to get shot for giving us this information, are you? Or beat up?
I don't think so. I'm in New Hampshire. We have a lot of guns here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like Detail Mafia, and it's like you're giving away things like, no, don't tell them that there's a secret organization that is.
You can know about the organization, you just can't be part of it.
Oh yeah,
okay. You gotta earn your way into it.
Oh, I don't know how many trainings do I have to take? You'd be amazed at the dedication that I have here.
It takes you a 50-hour work week to go through, and you got to pass. They got to like you too at the end of it.
Oh, good. Well, I'm very likable. So, but no, I did. I actually went to school for detail, and I never finished it. Can you believe it? I did it. But I got to the end of it.
That's how most detailers are. We never finished school.
Well, I did. I ended up more like the thing we were talking about that dealership world. It really was a lot easier, I guess, to turn wrenches. And I think that it does bear a point of, because I did body work. So start off doing auto engineering. Then I always thought body work and detailing were friends with each other. And then when I got done with it, they're like, hey, we have a detailing class. And I'm like, what do you mean? I thought that's what we did before. And the thing is they do kind of teach you the stuff when it comes to body work, but they don't teach you the upkeep stuff and how to like thoroughly clean your vehicle. And it was very important. I was like, you know what? I underestimated it. And that's the thing is I do think that people still to this day underestimate the idea of keeping the vehicle clean and what it's going to do down the road. I mean, you can attest to what it's like if you keep a chip in your car for a certain amount of time, right?
Start getting rust real quick if it's on a metal body panel.
Yeah. And that's the thing is this paint correction stuff. I mean, the webbing, the thing, it's just amazing. Like we were saying about how much can happen to a vehicle that doesn't get cleaned within a certain amount of time or get the corrections done to it. And that's the thing is, and that's why I think that this thing about ceramic, I mean, how here, I got an idea because I don't call myself an expert. I don't like calling myself an expert. I've done a lot of this stuff, but I kind of want to be, what does it call it? Know a lot of things, but just not a master.
Jack of all trades.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is you're a person that is in this. Can you tell to the people out there really what is the importance of putting ceramic coating on your car?
So the big importance is just longevity of your paint. Every time you wash your car, you're going to put some sort of scratches, swirls into that paint. There's no such thing as a perfect wash process where nothing gets scratched. So adding that ceramic coating layer, one, it builds up the protection that's on your car. It's a measurable layer. So if we end up putting scratches in the car, we can buff that down, take the scratch out, put more coating back on the car. You're back to square one. Everything's protected and clean looking again. And it's going to get less scratches in it. So 10 years down the road, if you have a coated truck and a non-coated truck, and especially if they're black, you're going to see a major difference. One truck's going to look black and the other's going to look all hazy and almost gray. Not going to be able to make out your reflection, even if you treat them both the same way. One's just coated, one's not.
Yeah. How often do people who get ceramic coatings, how often do they get them done?
So they're multi-year products. We offer 3 and 5 year ceramic coating products. Other lines will say 7 years, lifetime. We've kind of liked the 3 and 5 year range because we found it believable. These lifetime coating claims seem just like that. It's a claim, and I've not seen it actually come to fruition. So the 3 and 5 year product requires twice a year maintenance with just a sealant applied to help rejuvenate the coating. And we've seen a lot of good results from it. And then after that 5 years, we can reapply. We do have some folks that do an annual topper. So they bring it in every spring. We pull it out of storage, give it a really deep bath, give it a minor paint correction if we need to, if it's seen some love over the last year. And we'll put a topper on it, which is like a 1 year ceramic coating over top of what they already have. And that just maintains it through the life of the car. So if we see it every 12 months to reapply the coating, that car's going to look awesome every year.
Yeah, it's I've never heard of that kind of topper thing before. That's pretty cool, especially it seems
relatively new.
Yeah, it seems very cost saving versus, a lot of times when you get kind of sold the ceramic stuff, you get sold the whole package over and over again. That's the thing is how long has ceramic kind of been around?
It's been around for quite a while in various forms. I want to say it's over 10 years old now, with people applying ceramic solutions to their vehicles. I don't know when it really started, but in the last couple of years, it's really kicked it up pretty heavy with marketing being a big thing. Every major brand has a ceramic coating on the line right now. So it's the biggest thing in automotive, at least vehicle appearance, as of right now.
And that's the thing is it seems like there's a lot of things that are being built. Like it's kind of didn't develop. Like I haven't really, I want to say been so far aware of ceramic coating per se. I want to say it's been probably like 5 or 6 years. But even when we knew you could do stuff, like we didn't even know, 1, 3, 5 year, or whatever the variations of it was, that wasn't even a conversation piece that we had. When we first started seeing it, it was kind of like, oh, have you heard about this? This is a really good idea. And I actually come to think of it, it's been longer than that. But I mean, back when we first started the stuff on it, it wasn't really strong. Like there was a lot of people that kind of, it doesn't really work. But in the last, like, I want to say it's been 4 or 5 years. Like I said, we had I was dying to get my car coated. And then I finally got it. I think it was 2 years ago. So I am probably getting it. Well, I probably got 2 years left, I think, but I beat the junk out of my car. Like it really is.
Yeah.
But yeah. And that's ever since I've done it, I've been very happy with it. I still need to I think I need to go back and I think I did it. And then I had a little paint correction done to it, but I still think I needed to do a little bit more with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You can always do more.
Right. Exactly. And the thing, it's something that I tell people is you got to go over the whole thing and kind of go from stem to stern and think about everything. And I try to do that, but again, it's, I'm like I said, I'm not the expert of it. So that's why I send it to people like you to get it done.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So that's the thing is it's with all the stuff going on right now. Do you see, especially with the pandemic and everything that's going on, do you see your business picking up or do you see it kind of staying about the same? Because people seem to be using their cars less, but in some respects, they seem to be using their cars more.
Yeah. So we thought, right at the beginning of this pandemic last year, is it 2 years ago now? I can't even remember.
Yeah. Right.
But when everything first started shutting down, we kind of dialed back and adjusted our projections, lowered everything a considerable amount to make sure that we just, stayed in business. And then that year, we were 20% over our original projections for what we were going to do before making any adjustments. So we were shocked to find that people still care about getting their cars maintained. And now we did make a shift to more, sanitizing of interiors and making sure that your car was not necessarily clean but safe to use. Because that
Wow.
was the big concern for a lot of folks. So we went out and found products that could kill bacteria and make the car a safer place, especially if you were in and out of it because you had to be. Healthcare workers were coming to us in flocks, getting their cars regularly cleaned because they were concerned about going back to their families.
That's
So that was a
crazy.
big push for us, is making sure that folks were safe in their cars.
I gotta say, I've never heard anybody else. And the thing is once you said it, it seems like such a no brainer of an idea to do it. And I've never heard anybody else talk. I mean, I have friends that obviously work in that field, and I've had people that actually work in the wards, that actually work in the specific areas. That's all they do is work on people that are sick with this particular thing. And that's, I mean, some of them are in Georgia, so it's like, I'm sure they wouldn't be able to come all the way up here to get their car done. But that's the thing is I've never heard anybody try to do that. And I think it doesn't just apply to say that, for instance. I mean, I have to be honest, I'm in quarantine right now. I think I have a day left to be on what I'm on. And we've already did our quick test and we came back as negative. So thankfully, but it's one thing about where the big concern is saying, I want to make sure that we're not getting it from any place else. Do you know what I mean? And that
Absolutely.
vehicle side of it is huge. So, did you end up doing a lot of those?
We did a ton, and that was thanks to the mafia that we're part of. Someone
Nice.
posted that they were doing that, and that's it's not only helping us with the work that we're doing day to day, it's helping us keep work coming in the door. And that's, as a detail business, not a lot of them stick around. So it's been a big thing, a big help for us to be able to piggyback off of some of these other professionals and make sure, one, we're serving our clients the best, and two, we're serving them in a way that lets us stay around to keep serving them.
Well, that, you know what, because this Detail Mafia thing keeps coming up, and I think that it's very important. One thing that we were talking about, like, obviously the certifications are big, but the certifications, you go and you do your thing and they kind of go on. And we don't, in our trade, we don't really have like the college mindset. Like when I went to college, for one thing, you had a certain kind of mindset. And then when you did it for automotive and that kind of thing, it's a different kind of, we didn't really connect the way I think we should have. And the big thing about this thing, especially with the internet, is that we should be more connected. And then when I end up in mechanics groups where I get, invited to go to these places, we end up just posting junk, like it's all joke stuff and stuff like that. But you don't see a lot of people sharing things. And we're in all this fight together. Like I hate to say it like that, but there's plenty of room for everybody at the top when it comes to doing this kind of stuff. And having that group of tight knit people. I mean, how much have you, just to tell them to say why this is important, how much information have you been able to glean from being a part of an organization that has been able to pull all this information and pull it together?
I would be nowhere near where I am as, one, a person, and two, as we are as a company without this group. You've always got to have your group of guys. In the detailing world, our group just happens to be international. But that's the beauty of the internet. It connects people from around the world, and I can find people with like mindsets and like goals. We all just want to make cars look awesome.
Yeah.
And so I can bounce ideas off of them. I'll post my ideas if I have a good one. They'll post ideas and I can see it. We can piggyback off of each other. And the nice part about it is none of us are competing with each other. It's not like they're 5 miles down the road and we're trying to get the same customer. So I want them to have my idea. I want them to implement it, and I want them to succeed, because that's my group of guys. And if you don't want your friends to succeed, then you're not really friends.
Well, that's the other thing too, for you, for instance, I don't think you're too scared about your competition. When we do our stuff, we were never afraid of competition. We were never afraid of the guy down the street. I always shook hands with people. I said, hello,
I send them work.
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing is it's not just, I want to say this room at the top, for instance. What will you master at? Well, I did the Porsche thing, or I did the Lambo thing, or I did, that I had certain things that I was the best at. I did not like working on Fords. It's nothing against Fords. It's just not something that I was as comfortable with, and probably the easier thing. But but a lot of you guys would work on, different things, and that's what made you the expert of it. And being able to have somebody to go to, being able to have that support system in play. It's the thing is when you're at the top, like I think you guys are, it's one of those things of saying, I'm not too worried about bringing stuff out and being able to, I guess the words everybody, it's usually just pay it forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other people helped you get to your level, and now you're kind of handing it back. And the thing is that system isn't just a, stepping stone. It's a loop. We continue to help each other get better. And that's the thing is it kind of makes me happy to finally hear people, especially like you were introducing to it earlier, and kind of saying that, because it means, the people are actually learning from this and getting better.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we want to elevate our industry, because detailing 10 years ago was a bunch of college guys out back at the dealership smoking joints and having a good time. And now it's totally changed, and we want to make it a professional industry.
Are we are we sure it's changed at the dealership? I don't know.
Well, maybe not at the dealership, but at our shop certainly it's changed.
Exactly. So
we want to differentiate those two.
You've cut back on the smoking. Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, just a little bit.
No, but I'm like I said, these are important. Like it's just important lessons. And do you see a lot of like car shows in your area? Is that a big deal?
So there's a local Cars and Coffee, maybe 4 or 5 miles from us. They're actually a competitor of ours. But once a month they do a Cars and Coffee at the local mall, and they get 1,500 cars that come out. It's a huge event.
Nice.
I love to see that as a car enthusiast. I don't care if they're my competition. I'm going to post their event every month and get my buddies to come out. I know the owner. I shake hands with him every month. He's a cool guy. There's plenty of business around for all of us to succeed. So I just want to see everyone that's doing it right.
I see. Everybody keeps telling me that this car show scene is toxic. By the way, we're supposed to be having a show later on.
Some of it is.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm not going to break it up too bad. But the thing is I'm getting invites to shows right now, because one of the things I kept saying was the car world isn't toxic. And the thing that I say from that is so we have a car show, and I said, let's say you run a detailing shop. Let's say you run a body shop, and especially one that's restoration oriented, or maybe your thing is the printing, or being able to build specialty parts for race cars or something like that. When I was younger, very young comparatively now, when I went to shows, you would see that stuff. You would see the guys there shaking hands and showing these businesses and being. Now, I think what happened is we've become more and more separated. We've become more and more dependent on the internet to get our advertising stuff out, and a lot less on shaking hands. And this is where these shows, like you were saying, like I'm inviting people out to this, and that word of mouth, it carries a lot of weight, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's the thing is I see more and more people that they're going to see you at a show. They're going to come out. They're going to tell their friend is going to be there. You're going to be there with your Volvo. I mean, maybe not the last one, but another R that hasn't hit a curb yet. And, but yeah, you have that vehicle there. And that's the thing is who do you want working on your car? Do you want a guy that went to something and learned some stuff, and then he's not, it's like, I do this as a job, or do you want a guy that's owned, what is it? How many cars you own? 30?
31 at this point. I've got 4 right now.
Yeah. So it's good. Do you want that other guy that, drives the busted up Camry a little bit, or do you got the guy that gets 30 cars and has to upkeep them regularly, and every time you show up to a car show, you have a different car? I don't know. I think I'm going with the guy that has 30 cars. Is it just me? Or, I love the idea of like, you have the really nice exotic car that you bring out, and this thing is pristine and clean. I mean, that's the thing is when I brought mine out and it was done up, looked perfect. And we did a big challenge to win a car show. We brought it out to the first car show we brought it to, and we won it. And somebody said, well, what was the secret? And I said, it got detailed and it got cleaned right. Somebody loved it. That everybody was asking me, where did you get it done at? And, that makes a huge difference. So yeah, but before we leave, is there any place that like website, Facebook, any of that stuff that people can go to check out your stuff and make sure that they can come see you?
Absolutely. So we're located in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. If you ever buy, just stop in. We love to chat. ReVIVENE.com is the website. Revive New England is what it stands for. And we're getting that redone soon, so you should see a nice new website up. And Instagram is at Revive Auto Detailing. So those are the three places you can find us best.
Perfect. Now, I don't think I visited the website yet, so I'm going to do that right when we
You
get
might want to
done.
wait until the new site's up.
How long do you think it'll be before the new site gets up?
We're hoping by the end of the year. We're working on it. Just had photos done and everything for it.
Nice.
As a small family-owned business, the website we have now was something functional, but not necessarily beautiful. So
Yeah.
now we've grown to the point where it needs to match our image. So we're working on having that redone.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much with our big professional organizations. Our websites are usually just something thrown together that's,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, we take pride in our business. Even if no one cares, we want it to look good.
Exactly. No, that's the thing is taking pride in it's important. So before we leave though,
Mhm.
What is that chair right there that you have? What is that?
This is an old chair that we bought off of an old car dealership. So it's imitation tire tread. I got a shift knob. You'll see the mess I got down here. I can probably flip this around. Got an old shift knob to adjust the seat up and down. The old brake rotor right on the base of the chair. And it's in the style of a racing seat.
Your thing has I've noticed that your chair has like you can do rims on that thing.
Oh yeah.
That looks awesome.
Everything here is customizable.
I wanted one of those really badly back in the day, but I want to say they were charging. I mean, that thing probably sold for like $1,200. Like it was.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, we didn't pay that for it, but we got it used.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's the way to get
broken
around
in.
A little bit of depreciation never hurt anybody, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Tucker, for coming out. We appreciate your time. Like I said, everybody go out to revivene.com after they get the website fixed and check them out in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. If you're in the area and you need your vehicle detailed or have your paint correction done, I'm sure they'll be happy to take a look at it. So again, Tucker, thank you for coming on. Tell Brent I said hi, and I'm sorry that he couldn't be on the show tonight, but yeah, we had you come out and you did a great job. So we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it.
And
Had a blast, man.
Yeah, have a great night. Bye.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks for checking out Carside Chat. Remember to check out some of our other shows that we have on our links here, and make sure you continue to tune in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share these things out. Let other people know it. And if you have anything else you'd like to have us take a look at, put it in the comments below. You guys have a great day, and as always, don't forget to drive.